Hello, leaders. Welcome to another end of the week wind down, Real Talk with Real Leaders. I'm Dr. Tracy Simone, Queen of Clarity and Care, and your go to strategist, facilitator, and coach, helping you get unstuck and get things done. This week, we have a phenomenal leader that I cannot wait for you to meet. She is so skilled at caring for her people. So, she's going to talk to us about what it means to be a leader that cares for her crew. But before we do that, let's anchor down in the anchor way. The Anchor Way is a leadership framework designed to help organizations move forward with clarity, connection, cohesion, and courage, even in turbulent waters. Let's take a closer look. Think about an organization like a boat. To move through uncertain waters, it will need to be well built, well guided, and well powered. Every boat is built from something. At the foundation of every organization are three essential materials. Clarity, the shared understanding of where you are headed and why it matters. Connection, the trust, communication, and relationships that keep people interdependent upon one another and committed to the mission. And cohesion, the alignment between your values, your vision, and your daily decisions. This is what the boat itself is made of. Without it, the structure is fragile, no matter how powerful the engine or skilled the crew. Every boat needs a compass. In the Anchor Way, the compass represents your direction, your vision, your mission, and your strategic priorities. It helps you stay oriented even when external conditions shift. Next, the cargo, the actual work you're carrying, your programs, policies, culture, and commitments. The things you're delivering, building, protecting, or transforming. Finally, there's your crew, your people. From the executive team to the frontline leaders, the crew makes the journey possible. They need to be resourced, supported, and aligned to move forward together. Below the surface of every organization is the influence of the current. The external forces like policy shifts, funding pressures, or community needs that shape your course, whether you like it or not. And what propels the boat forward are two internal forces: care and courage. Care is how you lead with humanity. Courage is how you make hard decisions with integrity. Both are necessary to move through resistance and build something real. Every interview in this series is grounded in one or more parts of the Anchor Way, because we believe leadership isn't just about vision, it's about structure, systems, and soul. All right, and today we have with us Jennifer, who I've had the pleasure of working with in communities of practice, probably pre-COVID, like right before COVID. And I remember watching Jennifer and how she led. At that time, she was a principal, but because she leads so well and she does so great at taking care of her people, she's not a principal anymore. They gave her more people to lead and care and more of a crew. Her crew has grown exponentially since we worked together. So I'm excited to bring her to this space today because she has a lot to share with us. So Jennifer, I just want to start out by you just kind of telling us who you are, what you do. You can add some personal flavor in there if you want to, whatever feels good for you.
Yeah, well, first, thank you, Dr. Simone, for having me on. It's just so great to always connect with you. So really excited to be here. I am a 22 or 23-year educator. I started out as a paraprofessional, so a teacher's assistant, and worked my way up through the ranks, through assistant principal, principal, district leader. I was the ELA director in a Metro Atlanta district, and now I'm the assistant superintendent for teaching and learning in city schools of Decatur.
Yes. So your crew right now is huge.
Yes.
Tell me a little about who is a part of your crew. Like, how do you choose the people on your crew?
Yeah. So I've only been in this role, this is my third year. And so a lot of times as a leader, you're going to inherit your crew right out of the gate. And so I'm first looking at like who's on my crew and who might need to move off of the crew or can stay and be built up. And so I was fortunate to inherit a really strong crew when I got into this position. But there were some folks that wanted to kind of move along, which is normal. It's normal as leadership changes. You get new crew members that, you connect better with, or they connect better with someone else. And so, I was really fortunate to inherit a strong crew, but I did get to choose a couple of new folks. And so when I'm looking for teammates and who's really going to be on my ship, I'm looking for folks that are hardworking and not stuck to their title. So they're willing to get down and do the work no matter what. Because in education, our work is critical, it's life changing. And so, just because I'm the director of something or the assistant superintendent of something, that doesn't mean that I can't go in and do bus duty when needed. And
Mhm.
so, I'm looking for folks that are working hard, really have that servant leader quality, and then I'm also looking for loyalty. So we've got to be really committed to the work. And I can't have crew members that are wavering or might want to jump off and try something else because this is hard work. And so I need folks that are going to stay and stick around to make real change. And that takes time. So you've got to be really committed to the work, really committed to children, and that you're gonna stick around and see how things evolve over time.
Yeah, I'm hearing, first of all, like you don't always get to pick the crew. Sometimes you inherit them. And then I'm hearing like this idea of commitment, loyalty, longevity, willing to stay for the long game. But I also hear like there's flexibility in there, like flexibility, and I'm willing to do the other things that may not necessarily be what I signed up to do for the betterment of the team. And I also hear flexibility for you, leaving room for people that this doesn't quite fit me anymore, and it's okay. Like, I'm not going to shame you because you want to leave. It is perfectly okay for you to make decisions for yourself. I'm wondering, like, since you had your inherited crew and you had some people you were able to bring on, like, how were you able to build trust and mutual respect for that new team that's forming around a brand new leader, a brand new vision? How did you bring those people together?
Yeah. So my formula for trust is compassion and credibility creates trust. And so, one, as a leader, I'm going to come in and share what I know. And I'm always going to be a compassionate leader and a listener. So when you're bringing something to the table, I'm bringing some knowledge, but I'm also open to listening and receiving. I think that's my formula for how trust is created. I right away jumped in, and of course, we did all the fun team building things and things like that. I'm vulnerable with my team. I'm very comfortable saying, I don't know. Let's figure that out together. Why don't you tell me? Because there are things that I don't know. And so having a leader that is vulnerable and saying, hey, help me out. You tell me. This is a shared leadership opportunity, I think really helps kind of in setting that tone. So when you have the new people, they can follow that lead. They can say, hey, there's some things I know about this organization. There's some things that I want to bring in, and can be vulnerable, and vice versa. So that vulnerability is really important. I also, that shared leadership for me, that's my leadership style. So I was fortunate to come up under very strong female leaders that treated with me with respect and treated me as their equal. Now, at the end of the day, there were some things that they could sign that I couldn't sign. But I was in the room and at the table learning side by side with them. And I have carried that shared leadership model throughout my career as a principal and district leader. So I'm always bringing my team in, which again, it shows vulnerability because there are some things that at an executive cabinet level that I'm learning and having to make these decisions, but I'm bringing them along side by side so that one day they're going to fly. So that shared leadership, I think, also helps to build trust.
I love that formula, compassion and credibility equal trust. I even hear like when you speak of credibility, a lot, I think a lot of people think about it as like credentials, like I got this degree and I've done this and I've been doing this for 20 something years. But even credibility is saying, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. There's a collective wisdom in this room and I am open to receiving it. And I think that builds a special kind of credibility because now the people on the crew feel like I'm valued, I matter, like I belong here and I have something to contribute to the space. So I'm wondering, what is something that you learned from your crew recently?
Oh man, so much. So I'll give an example. Just 2 days ago, uh, one of my crew members actually gave me some feedback. So I got up there and I was talking to we had new teacher orientation and there were new teachers in the room. And I got up there and all I was supposed to do, the assignment was to introduce my team. That was all I had to do. But instead, I just decided to be extra and I was going into my history of where I started as a paraprofessional. Are there any paraprofessionals in the room? Raise your hand. Then I went on to the next thing. And then my 1 minute introduction had now turned into a 5 minute, we call it a preachertation. And so my team came back and said, Jennifer, that was lovely, but that wasn't the assignment. And I said, yeah, you're right. I did kind of go preachertation in that moment. And so because we have that relationship of trust and my team, they really want me to shine because, they tell me often, we are here to support you and make you look good and make this work happen for us. And so for our students. And so because I have that crew behind me, they're able to give me that crucial conversations, that feedback to say, hey, you went a little bit over and maybe next time say less. And I received that. And so now, even today, there have been times where I looked at the team and I said, you think you need to say less? And they're like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. So that may be our kind of slogan for the year this year is say less. But it really is a good lesson. Sometimes we don't need to do all of the extra. Get in, do the assignment, and then step back. Say
Mhm.
less sometimes.
I love that preachertation. I love it. I love it. What does it feel like to know that you have a crew that trusts you enough to give you first feedback, which is like what you did was ABC, and then feed forward, like in the future, these are the things that may make this a little better. What does that feel like to you?
It's great. So it feels really good to be surrounded by a team of my team was female, so strong females that we all have the same goal. So it's not about, this person's in charge, this person's, this level, this level, this level. We are all lifting the work together and we have a common goal. And so at any point, if I need to step out of my role, I know I've got an army of crewmates behind me ready to step in. And that feels comforting. It gives me additional confidence and it just feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. I can feel like I feel it through the computer screen, like what it is like to know that type of support exists because leadership actually is a pretty lonely thing. If you don't build a crew to carry the weight with you, you will drown in it. Like you will drown worrying about all the little things that you have a whole entire team that will help you worry about it together and actually figure it out.
That's right. That's right. Because if I know all of the answers, I don't need the rest of my crew.
Hmm.
If I can do their job, then I don't need the crew. And so everybody just makes our team so much stronger. They're bringing a different level of expertise and it's valued.
Hmm. And you sound like a leader that doesn't have a problem asking for and receiving help. I actually I did a whole facilitation yesterday about like asking for help and receiving help. And what everybody in the space found was that it's really easy for me to give help. I'm a helper, I'm a helper, I'm a helper. But the hardest thing was to ask for the help that you need. So do you have any like tips or tricks on how you ask your crew for help when you need it?
Well, I think the having that vulnerable relationship already established, I think is important. I also think that if you're carrying your weight, it's not so hard to ask for help. I think I would feel guilty asking for help if I wasn't doing my part. But if
Hmm.
I know I'm already doing my part and we've got this common goal, then asking for additional help is not such a bad thing. It's really about if we're trying to move the work and that's all of our goal, then yes, all hands on deck at any moment is is important and allowable. I also know that in teams, there are seasons of life and work, and sometimes there are times where I've got to step forward because this person's season, for
Hmm.
whatever it is, they're going to have to step back a little bit. Maybe it's an aging parent, maybe it's a new child. Their family has expanded for whatever reason. And so sometimes you've got to step forward and step back. So I've gotten really comfortable saying, hey, in this season, I need help because I've got to step back for this reason. Or, hey, there are so many extra things happening kind of at the cabinet level that I need help. This is a busy season at work. And so it's my turn to get a little bit extra help, but I've already made those deposits in that bank earlier. And so it's okay. So it really is. I do think it goes back to having that relationship with your team so it just feels more comfortable asking for help.
Yeah, I'm hearing two things coming up from the Ink Way, which is like this connection that you've built between your people, and also this level of care. In that this has come up in all of my interviews. Like I am actually dealing with whole entire humans, and this work is not their life. Some of us have aging parents, some of us have sick children, some of us just have busy children, some of us like there's always things going on. So while I do this work at the same time, I build these relationships with people and so that when I need a little extra support, I feel comfortable asking, and I know that my crew is going to look out for me. And when they need it, I'm going to look out for them.
That's right.
If you had one piece of advice for an up and coming leader when it comes to their crew, what would it be?
Hmm. I would say one, hire hard. So don't settle. You will find your person, your crewmate. Keep looking until you find the right one. Don't settle. And the second thing is, I would say pour into those crew mates. So the more you pour in, the more you're going to get. Bring them to the table, treat them as a partner. And when it's time for them to spread their wings and fly, it's okay because that next crewmate will come in, and it's hard to rebuild that next person. But when they go away and fly off, you'd be surprised at how things will come back to you. So, because now they've gone off and they've gotten a promotion, they may send a future kind of person that they saw great potential in. Your connections expand when you let your crewmates fly and grow. And so don't clip wings, let them go, and it will come back to you twofold.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Let them don't clip wings and let them fly. I love it. I love it. Jennifer, thank you so much for your wisdom of words today and your time. I am sure all the people are going to be able to garner a lot of information that helps them to grow as leaders and to support their crew. And I'm sure their crew is going to be so grateful for all the things that you have offered up. And I just want to say thank you to all the leaders out here for tuning in. Again, I am Dr. Tracy Simone, Queen of Clarity and Care, and your go-to strategist, facilitator, and coach, helping you get unstuck and get things done. And we will see you next Friday for another great leader. Bye. If this conversation sparked something in you, don't stop here. Watch my free on-demand masterclass, How to Lead Without Losing Yourself. It's 1 hour of clarity, strategy, and truth for leaders navigating growth, change, and complexity. Scan the QR code to start your reset.